you in this room want to achieve success or have achieved it already, raise your hand. Now I should see all hands going up right now. Success is something that's inherent in all of us as human beings. We all want to look good in the eyes of others, and we all want to feel good about our own achievements. In my own journey through happiness, through life, through achieving different levels of success, I've found that it all begins with happiness. If you want to achieve happiness, though, you got to overcome many barriers. There are many barriers to happiness. We have to overcome outside environment. We have to overcome our own inner dialogue, our own self-doubt. Every day when we wake up and we think, I don't want to get out of bed because, I don't want to go to work because, I don't want to start this because, some sort of fear, or whether you can't get the motivation to do something. We all hold ourselves back from certain motivations, from certain successes, because of these barriers. Now today I want to share with all of you my own journey through happiness, success, and what I found to work through different readings and research. It all starts with the self. It all starts with you. If you read any motivational book, watch a motivational speech, they're not going to tell you everybody else needs to change if you want to be happy. They're not going to tell you everybody else needs to change if you want to achieve success. It starts with you. And that's the great thing about happiness and success. Now I say it starts with happiness because your motivation, what motivates you, really dictates how successful you'll be. Now when I was younger, so many years ago, 20 years old, I wanted to be rich and buff. And those were my goals. But how was I going to do that? It wasn't specific, it was very vague. And it was pretty unrealistic. How are you going to achieve becoming rich? It takes much deeper thought than just naming these vague things. I want a yacht, I want a mansion. It takes actually thinking about what you need to do to get to that next step. So what I found out, I came across a self-help book, a motivational book. Now, a lot of these books I find to be mostly the same. A lot of the same advice. So if you haven't seen one, check one out. It should be good. It'll hit you on the right foot. So the first chapter of this book that I found said, I asked the question, what makes you happy? This was the first few pages of the book. And I'd ask myself, what makes me happy? And I thought I had to actually think about what makes me happy. I had no idea. And then I had to think, am I actually happy? I sat down, listening with this book in front of me, and had to write down what makes me happy, and am I happy? And I found out that I was not even happy with what I was doing. I wasn't even aware that I wasn't happy. And after this little process of finding out what makes me happy, the next step in this book was setting the goals. What will make you happy, and set those as your goals. Now, about the thing with this method is that it has to be specific goals. Now, before I said I wanted to be buff and rich. Well, those aren't very specific. So I had to actually get into the nitty-gritty, what is next in my step to success, in my goals. And I found that going to school, developing good relationships would help me get to propel myself to that next step. So what I did is I sat down, I said, okay, I want to be a better student, I want to get all A's, and I want to start dating again. It had been a few years before I had been dating. So I had to get out of my comfort zone, I had to go to school, start studying more, asking girls on dates. So all of the guys in this room, you know how nerve-wracking that could be sometimes, especially if you haven't done it for a while. So I had to get out of my comfort zone, build some confidence, and become happy. I had to do these things that were making me happy. So really, the success was achieved before I had even completed these goals. I was already more happy, more confident, and more motivated than ever. And by applying this method, every day I'd wake up, I would think about these goals. I would do something each day, whether it was a conversation about these goals, or whether it was actually applying myself to these goals. I would do something every day. And what I found is within a matter of months, I had gotten all A's for the whole year. I started dating a wonderful girl, and we had a lot of fun. And everything else, I started applying this method, specific goals, to every single thing that I was doing. And I found that anytime I applied this method, it would actually come to work. Because the motivation behind it was my happiness. It wasn't, I want to be better than somebody else. It's not about looking good in the eyes of others. It's about doing what you want to do and feeling good about what you do. And by setting these specific goals, I found that I could achieve happiness and success without having the materials to come with it. So if you ask somebody, do you really want success? Most people will say yes, but very few do something every day, every week, or every month about it. Everybody's going to say, I want success. And you look at their behavior, and it doesn't match up. They're watching TV, eating fatty foods, whatever it is. They're not putting out the effort. And that's what it takes to become successful. It takes your motivation, happiness. So Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, what are you going to do today to achieve success?